Alhamdulillah. The next ayah is, as we notice, a dua. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. So notice that in Surah Al-Fatiha, we are praising Allah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Then we start speaking to Allah and we say, You alone we worship and you alone we seek your assistance. And then finally we start making a dua. The end of the prayer is a dua. We're asking Allah for something. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. You might ask yourself a question. Why am I asking Allah to guide me to the straight path when I'm already a Muslim and I'm already praying? Doesn't that mean I'm on the straight path? The answer is yes. You are on the straight path, alhamdulillah. But you have to ask Allah for this guidance so that He keeps you on the straight path. And that straight path is the religion of Islam, the worship of Allah, the Quran, the obedience of Allah. How many people used to be on the straight path and then they left it? And you might know some people, unfortunately, that believed in Islam and then their belief became very weak, or some people left altogether. So that guidance to stay on the straight path and stay on the path of worshipping Allah is not guaranteed. So you asking Allah with sincerity, with hope in your heart and fear that Allah keeps you on that path and He protects you from ever going astray, that's the meaning of making this dua at the very least 17 times a day. If we're reading Al-Fatiha in every single rak'ah of our prayers, that would be this many times. So Allah wants us to keep repeating that prayer. And that's a sign that if you want something, you keep asking for it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person's dua will eventually be accepted as long as a person is not hasty. So they said, Ya Rasulullah, how does a person become hasty? He said, a person who makes dua, they keep making that prayer over and over, and then eventually they stop and they say, I kept making dua, but Allah never answered me. So we want to be consistent in asking Allah. Maybe it might take months, maybe it might take years before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers your prayer and what you want and what you're asking Him for. But you need to be consistent. So that's the meaning of saying, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. It's so that Allah keeps us guided. We are living in a very dangerous time and place. We are living in a society which is not conducive. It's not easy to be a Muslim in this society. And all around us you see haram, wherever you look. Even if you just open your phone or open the computer, right away you might fall into haram. And if you walk outside, and if you go to school, everything is haram, is very easy and accessible. So asking Allah to protect you, to keep you safe in that environment is crucial for all of us, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps us on that straight path. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us firm and to keep us strong on His obedience and to keep us on the straight path until the day that we die.